Is it a nice break from 4 consecutive ranked opponents, although it is on the road? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes total sense. Well, you'd think it would be a nice break because we did have 4 straight top 25 opponents, and then I start watching film, and they're so long and they're so active, and their zone is, it's really good, and so it's not really much of a break at all. You're just not going to get a break in this conference. It's just a really good conference for women's basketball. I do like being on the road, though. I really do enjoy that. I'm not sure if the players feel the same way, but I just think it's less of a distraction when we're on the road. I think we get a lot of things done as far as team building and character building, which is just as, if not more important than the stuff that we're trying to accomplish on the court. And I really like the time alone with them.
Kansas State is the last team that you have not seen this season in the league. What are the differences between preparing for a team that you've seen and one that you haven't seen?
Well, it could be a good thing or a bad thing, So, for example, I'll just use Baylor as an example. That was probably a bad thing because the kids had we didn't play very well and we got walloped in Waco, and so that's what they remember. Or it could be a good thing, for example, like Kansas. So the first time we played them, we felt like, we were right there. And so it gave us a great deal of confidence going into Lawrence. I'm pretty familiar with KState because I've watched so many of their games when in prepping for our other opponents. But, it'll be new to the players. You just try to show them as much film as possible. Our practice guys, we have a scout team. They're called the Reckham Squad. I'd like to give those guys a shout out. I love them. And they came in yesterday and did a great job of simulating Kansas State's zone. But until you actually see it for yourself, it's really hard.
You talked a lot about Kansas State's defense. What have you seen from them offensively?
They can shoot the ball. So you've got 5 starters on that team that are all 6 feet or taller, and all 5 of their starters can shoot the 3, which is, different. It's different. So it will make our defense, our defense and our rebounding all the more important.
So is it more of the perimeter defense you're kind of focusing on, or is it really the big men trying to go out and make a bad shot from them, if that makes sense?
Yeah, it's definitely perimeter defense, perimeter shooting that concerns me the most and that I'm spending the most time prepping for. They don't really have true, their post players that start aren't really true back-to-basket post players. They're not like Kalani Brown or, Jada Terry, Aaron DeGrate type players. They're skilled stretch 4 type players. So, they will pull our bigs away from the basket, and that's new for us. That's challenging for us. So we've been working on that as well.
Coach, you mentioned where whenever you first took over and you were trying to implement a new thought process and everything, that turnovers and the outcome of games weren't something you were focusing on as much. Is that something you've gone back and you actually are focusing on more now, how the games actually turn out and the turnovers games? Is that something you've made that turn where you are focusing on that more now and talking about that with the girls?
Yeah, I said that until we had 29 turnovers, and then I was like, okay, we need to start, this is getting carried away. But seriously, a month ago, really it was just, I think you have to take each day of where you are. And so with each day, I've looked at where we are and who we are, and I've accepted them for where we are and who we are, with the mindset that where you are tomorrow is not where you were yesterday. So you just try to grow a little bit each day. So I think a month into this, we're further along now than, hey, we're not going to worry about the turnovers. We're just going to, worry about, energy and everybody clapping. We're further along than that now than we were a month ago. So now the emphasis is on, more things outside of the attitude, energy, effort realm, if that makes sense.
This is a team in the past couple of weeks that seems to go the way of Brittany Brewer. Had an amazing game against Oklahoma State, and it was close through the early part of the second half, and then drew a tough matchup against Baylor. I guess, what is it about her how much can she help you guys when she's on, and how do you keep her on?
Well, you can say that about any of them, really, Mike. Like, when Aaron's on, it helps us a lot. When Jade is on, it helps. When Brielle Blair is on, it helps us. Here's the thing about Brittany is she's just a sophomore. And, and so with that sophomore comes inconsistency. And so we all forget, she's 19 years old. And so she's not like none of these guys are. They're not like computers. And so I had a great talk with Dr. Cooper, who is with our Leadership Academy, and I've been really relying on him a lot for guidance and mentorship through this last month. And he reminded me the other day when I was expressing frustration with some of the inconsistency from game to game. And he said, hey, they're not computers. There's not a glitch. You shut it down, and then you turn them back on, and they're all perfect. They work again. That's not how it works. And Brittany's 19 years old. Brittany, what I loved about Brittany's effort against Baylor is she was aggressive. She took 16 shots, probably about 4 that she'd like to have back, that I'd like to have back, but she took them. So her and I watched film yesterday, and we watched her. And I'm like, I don't have a problem with this. I don't have a problem with this. I don't have a problem with this. Like, she just missed some shots. But she was being aggressive. Like, she was going at Lauren Cox. She was going at Brown. And that's where she wasn't doing that, a couple weeks ago. She was taking 4 shots and 5 shots. So I will take aggressive Brittany Brewer over passive, unaggressive. I'm scared to shoot because I might miss Brittany Brewer any day. And we had a really good film session yesterday, and we had really good individuals, and she's in a really good place right now. And so hopefully she'll just make a few more of those shots that she took.
And in just about a month since Angel Hayden saw her first serious minutes, how much has she jumped over the past 3-4 weeks?
That kid, wow. I don't think anyone saw her growth happening like this. I really don't. I mean, we knew she was a tough kid. We knew that. She was scrappy. She's a winner. She's competitive. But what she's been able to do, like in the last month, I mean, she's so confident. Like the other day in practice, she didn't yell at her teammates, but she did in her way of yell at her teammates. And I just kind of like, good job. Like, that was good. Did you just kind of yell at them? And she was like, a little bit. And I was like, that's good. Good job. Do it again. So also her and I watched film yesterday. And so when we were all done, I just shut the computer and I looked at her. I said, are you over this yet? It's been a long year for you. Are you tired? Are you ready for this to be over? She looked at me, she smiled, and she said, I'm having fun. This is fun. And that's exactly the response that you want. That's what you want from a freshman point guard who's continuing to grow. She's having fun. She's getting better. She's enjoying this. And so she kind of inspires me.